Today, on Running to Him, we need to trust in God's strength and His protection as we live our lives for Christ today. If you're joining us in going through Proverbs, today's reading is Proverbs 18, verses 1 through 10, and we will concentrate on verse 10. Proverbs 18:10 in the New American Standard says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe." Proverbs 18:10 with the Lexham Septuagint says this, "The name of the Lord is of greatness of strength, and when the righteous run in it, they are lifted high." I placed the above translations together so that we could see the sense of what Solomon was communicating. The New American Standard Bible is translated from the Hebrew, and the Lexham English Septuagint is a translation from the Greek translation of the Old Testament, which is done in 220 BC. The Lord's name is both one of great strength and of protection. These two attributes are critical to our ability to be protected from sin, as well as ones can give us great strength in times of trouble. Today we might see these two attributes in helping us navigate our current political and cultural environment. I grew up in a time when there was not much controversy in the U.S., but by the time I was 17, the noise had reached a crescendo with the Vietnam protests and the Roths riots. And the noise has not gotten any quieter. This fact is particularly true if you look at what has just happened in our elections this year. I'd like to go back to the election of 1860 for a comparison. The northern states had just begun to realize the extent of the evil of slavery. There was a strong abolitionist movement in the North, which had earlier resulted in John Brown creating an insurrectionist movement which ended at Harper's Ferry and his death. In 1860, a political party called the Republicans, the party was only 6 years old at the time, nominated a former congressman by the name of Abraham Lincoln, and the Democrats nominated John Breckinridge from the southern faction of the party and Stephen Douglas from the northern faction. Lincoln won on basically an abolitionist ticket, and the Southern Democrats caused the South to secede from the Union. Both the winning and losing parties felt that the other had manipulated the election. Today we're faced with a similar situation in the United States. According to some polls, upwards of 61% of the Republicans feel that the election was rigged in some way. This fact is going to create great turmoil in our country over the next few years, and we Christians need to be able to rely on both the protection and strength of God, not to be drawn into the fray to the point of harming our ability to be a strong witness for Christ. Now, I am certainly not saying you can't hold your own political opinions, but our duty as believers is to be a witness for Christ, not a political party. The Apostle Paul lived at a time where there was massive political corruption, and yet, as a prisoner in Rome, he witnessed to the guards who were chained to him. His focus was on Christ, not politics. Polycarp, the bishop of Smyrna, when he was asked to simply say that the emperor was God and not Christ, stated, 83 years has Christ been my Lord. How can I deny him now? Perpetua and Felicity died in the arena, and some of their guards joined them in death because of their witness. We need to trust in God's strength and His protection as we live our lives for Christ today. Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.